working on a 2013 Ford Edge. Today we're talking about having brake drag or your brakes sticking. There was some repair work made and noticed the issue after that was done. So I just got back from a drive and I want to get some temperature readings real quick while it's still hot. So 165 degrees on the rotor, brake calipers 130, 140, 150. Let's check the passenger side. All right, passenger side rotor about the same. So calipers are about the same as well. Okay, now that we get that out of the way, so what was happening when you were driving down the road, you could feel the drag, the pull of the engine not being able to accelerate as well. And you get out of the car and you can come over here and you can smell just that brake. And then the temperature reading before was around 250, 260 degrees versus what it is right now, because I've already fixed it, but I wanted to share with everybody what happened. All right, so this car got a completely new brake setup from the master cylinder to the brake booster down to the ABS module, which sits back behind the battery back here. All that's brand new. So went through the brake bleeding procedure, which to do so on this, you've got to have some sort of a bi-directional scan tool so that you can activate the ABS brake bleeding procedure through the car, and then you do the manual brake bleeding procedure like you normally would. So it takes quite a while and like 8 to 15 times of going through that cycle over and over again to get that done. So once that was done, I was having a problem then with the brake drag, trying to figure out what was left. So I went through the next natural step, which would be to check out the brake calipers and the hoses. So I put on a new brake caliper and a new brake line hose, because typically, those would fail to some extent. You would notice sticking, the line would be crusty or something to that effect. But typically that's it, because it's only dragging on one side. The passenger side was fine. It was only the driver's side that was dragging at all. So I went ahead and replaced both of those, and it didn't change the outcome. What I did find, however, was this brake pedal position switch or brake switch has limitations on this shaft piece that comes out. So when I replaced the brake booster, let's see if we can look in here underneath the dash where it comes in. Maybe, it's hard to get an angle on here. Anyway, when you reset all of that with all new parts, this switch right here changes its distance, its length. So what was happening was the way the pedal was going against this, it was allowing just a little bit of brake fluid to still be released from the ABS system. Instead of it being completely open or closed, on or off, it was hanging up a little bit. So that brake switch lives right up here. So you can see the back side of the brake booster, and then over here to the switch, and that opens and closes. Well, that distance changed when I replaced everything. So I'm not going to do it because I already fixed it, but I want to show you. You can unplug it and then turn this clockwise, and it almost feels like you're going to break it. It's on there pretty good. Turn it clockwise and pull it out. And then when you do that, you're going to see this. So this has these little black tabs that stick out on both sides of here. And then there's this slot here and here that you can actually use like a little tool pick or a tiny flathead screwdriver, and you can turn it, which will turn these guys over here a little bit. So then what you do is you compress this all the way in and let it fling back out. Just release it and it should extend all the way back out, and then give it a little bit of a pull, and then put this back in place the way you found it. And then you go through and you put it back into the brake system, and then when you push the brake all the way down, and then just let off of it, it'll have more of a slapping that'll happen, but and that'll reset the length of the switch, which then no longer makes the ABS module stick open. Now I assume it was the front driver's side that was sticking because it's the closest one to the ABS module where the fluid would be allowed to come out of, right? So that's what made sense to me. So I just want to let you guys know that it took me a while to figure this out, and I spent probably 150 bucks I didn't need to on calipers and a hose just to even test that theory out. Sometimes it's hard to tell where those work or not, but if you are replacing items in the brake system, this needs to be reset to recalibrate it. So I hope it helped you out. Thanks.